What's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Age of Sigmar Trash Pandas with Rob and Carson. This week we got a special guest. I've got way too much energy tonight. I didn't get a good sleep, but we got Erik Armstrong to talk about Prince George's premier tournament, Northern Wastes. I think it's pluralized.
Yes.
Sweet. Okay.
There's more than one waste.
Yeah. You would know better than anyone. You are from Prince George. Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
That makes me an expert on this tournament, actually.
Yeah. For more reasons than one, but we'll get into that in a moment. First, welcome Robin Bahamut. Thanks for joining us. So we'll just talk about the rumor engine, one piece of news, and then we'll just go into it if everyone's cool with that. Did you guys get a chance to see this crazy looking rumor engine?
I did not.
Not yet, actually.
It looks like antlers for sure, but it's got like moss or some kind of, I guess, moss or slime hanging from it. So I don't know. Like, it's such a weird. I mean, I think it's got to be part of terrain, right? If it's got like goop hanging from it.
Possibly, but I mean, if you look at it definitely looks like moss or slime or something. But if you look at where the moss kind of meets the horns on the bottom,
yeah,
it almost looks like it's like crackling as if it's frozen. So maybe they're icicles.
Ooh.
But
Oh, maybe.
Oh, that's cool. That's a great idea. But those are not. I don't think it, like, if you look at the bottom middle one, it's got like a hole in it.
it doesn't look like icicles. Yeah.
Okay.
It doesn't.
Yeah, but like, what can
That'd be cool though, because if
That
it's
would be
icicles, then
Yeah.
maybe some
Yeah.
more Beast Claw Raiders. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
That's true. Yeah, I have no idea. I'm literally just gonna guess.
It's a Tyranid thing.
Tyrannid thing.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
gonna
my guess.
I'm gonna guess a slimy deer. Bahamut says. Alex says Iron Jaws. Well, there's some rumors floating around about new Iron Jaws sculpts, like a whole new expansion to the line.
It's true. Maybe it's like Mega Boss on like Gore Moose or something. That'd be sweet.
Oops, snake.
That does sound like their naming convention, actually.
Yeah.
I am going to go out on a limb because there is. I did see like the financial report that Games Workshops makes to their and what do you call it? Their shareholders.
Shareholders.
Yeah, and they said that the old world is coming soon, and they did say that wood elves are going to be supported. They have a lot of antlers in that faction, so I'm going with wood elves.
There you go.
It is wishful thinking, by the way. I do love my wood elves, but whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's looking slimy, so it could also be some kind of Cruel Boys thing. There's a lot of like hanging moss and crap.
That's true. It could be a Cruel Boys thing. That's for sure.
Yeah. Cool. Speaking of green skins, we've got a what's this guy called again? An Iron Jaws Ard Boy Big Boss.
Yeah. Bane Boss.
This is kind of exciting because like we haven't discussed it before because I didn't know about it until like a few days ago. But Jason in our local group was posting this rumor that Iron Jaws are going to get an Ard Boy resculpt and some new kits along with the Mega Pig. I forget. I don't remember his actual name now.
It's just the Mega Pig.
It's the Mega Pig. And like one sort of centerpiece sounding kind of Mega Boss thing. I don't know. It was Mega Boss something something. I don't remember. Anyway, that's really exciting if true. I know Alex will be happy.
Yep.
Yeah. One of the main things
I don't
that
think he will. I think he's going to be upset that his faction becomes popular and then he's going to switch to something else.
Oh man,
Yeah.
Alex, don't sell out like that or whatever I mean, actually,
Yeah.
yeah. You just claim your hipsterdom and the fact that you've been playing them not since the beginning. So actually, maybe you know what? Just forget about it. It's fine.
Hey, maybe you'll get lucky and it'll just be really bad.
That's true. He will be happy with that at least.
Yeah.
Or at
maybe
least
everything hit. Maybe everything hits on 4s. with random damage.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
Yeah, random movement too.
The random damage is just ask your opponent a number between 1 and 10, and that's the damage.
Yeah, exactly.
Ask your opponent. They're like, I'll just say 2 just to be nice, I guess. You know?
Yeah.
You are wounding on 5s for some reason. You know? Dear. Okay. I enjoyed that. So welcome, Horrible, by the way. So I guess we will. Should we just get into it then?
Sure.
Cool. Okay. So Northern Wastes is a tournament that happens in, I want to say northern British Columbia, but it's kind of like dead in the center of British Columbia, you know. But
yeah,
everything's north of Vancouver essentially. So yeah, it's a tournament that you and Alex went to last year, Eric. Was that true?
Well, I mean, there was like 30 something people. It wasn't just the two of us, but
no. I meant like from. Sorry, yeah. From like
gone 4-1 against Alex there. Yeah.
I beat him repeatedly. It was great.
I meant from like the Saga of Dice greater community, our local group, Warp Dice.
Yeah, from down south where we drove up and went last year, and we had a great time. So now we're bringing 8 of us, I think, this year.
8. Wow.
So we're doing a hostile takeover of Northern Waste GT.
Hell yeah!
Exciting.
You quadrupled our numbers. That is excellent.
Yeah, we had such a good time that we told everybody about it, and everybody got excited. So we're all going.
Well, last year, I believe you took home a trophy.
Yes.
I actually want to highlight this because they are like, what a cool trophy! Like, I've never seen.
It was a pretty cool trophy. I'll grab it.
Yeah, how many forest fires do you have to dodge to get there?
Oh, it's gonna be crazy. There's like, I'm watching 3 different fires like every day on my phone to figure out which route we're gonna take. It's nuts.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got horns last year.
Like Viking horns?
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
That is the coolest trophy I've ever seen. Like, I'd way rather have that than like a faux 420 J2 stainless steel like sword. I mean, those are cool. Don't get me wrong. The swords, the axes are amazing. But like an actual drinking horn that you can drink out of? Come on.
Yeah, pretty good.
It even has like the forged holder thing for it too.
Yeah. And then it's
nice. Best sports. And you went 4-1.
Yeah. Yeah, it was good. I played Sylvaneth last year. And I did well. It was good. It's a fun tournament.
Awesome. Welcome, Darren. Horrible is asking, are they doing horns again this year?
Don't know.
Fair enough. Yeah. We didn't know last year, but...
Yeah. No, I'm just excited to see what it is when I get there, actually.
Agreed.
I think they have, some stuff in store.
And so how many people are going this year? Do we know?
I think it's 41.
41? Okay, nice. More people than last year. That's excellent.
Yeah, just 30 something last year, I think.
Hell yeah. So yeah, we thought we'd talk about it. Like, we really wanted to expose more people to this fantastic tournament. It's a little bit of a ways to get there, but it's so awesome. So, is anyone going from Dimensional Cascade?
Don't think so.
Oh,
but
that's
maybe.
I don't blame them. It's pretty far, and they probably don't know
Yeah, that's a long way to go if you got to deal with the border.
Yeah.
And everything in addition.
Indeed.
Doesn't look like anyone is.
Oh, shucks. Well, whatever. More trophies for us. Cool. So I guess we're just gonna kind of scroll through, and if we see any lists that we think are like interesting, or we want to talk about because we know the faction, or whatever, if we think they're strong, yeah, whatever. Talk about them for any reason. Do you guys have the list pulled up? I've got them up for the stream, but yeah.
I've got them on my end here, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I have them in front of me, so
cool.
I can...
Awesome. So first up on the list here is Alex Butler. He's a local player. He's the one who went with you last year. He's playing Iron Jaws though, so I feel zero need to talk about his list. What do you guys think? Like, I understand.
Yeah, I mean,
A little
playing
purple.
two. He's playing two cabbages. You know, one of them is Gordrak,
Okay.
and that's all that there is really to say.
Right on. Awesome. Okay, and then there's another Alex, and he's playing an Iron Rock list. I'll talk about it briefly. It is interesting. So he is not bringing. I almost feel bad talking about it because he's not bringing a regular king. He's bringing Volturnos, and so like
Right.
in an eel list, he's obviously really strong. But yeah. Anyway, so yeah, I guess he could do that because so Volturnos. The thing about Iron Rock is they get a special heroic action, and it's just that they can put a unit. I think it's an Achillean unit only, but I could be wrong. Into Flood Tide or Ebb Tide, which means they can run and charge or retreat and charge. You give up your whole deal, but whatever, that's something. And then there's the Soul Render for Deep Strike, Tidecaster because this is the magic season, and then we've got 10 Reavers, 10 Thralls, 10 Thralls, Alapex, or yeah, two Alapexes, a unit of 6 Morsar Guard, and a Leviathan. I'm assuming that the Tidecaster or Teachings of the Turskull. I can't remember if that's the Flip the Tides or not. That's the only real reason I can think to not take. You know what I mean? The king. So this will be interesting. It's not something that I'm. It's interesting. It's different. There we go.
Yeah, I haven't played very much Deepkin that wasn't just eels, so it'd be interesting to see how the Reavers and Thralls and stuff do.
I love playing eels. Like they're truly my favorite. Like even when they weren't good, you know what I mean? I still like playing them. They're fast. They're just so fast.
Yeah.
And the king, when he's there, hits like a ton of bricks. The Leviathan I don't generally bring unless I've got a lot of Namarti or I'm in what's it called? The one that makes them battle line and they get an extra special monstrous rampage where they can get -3 rend on their fins and their bite.
Right.
But yeah. Anyway, it's a cool list. I like that he's playing something different, and yeah, there we go. We got Andy Selwood next, another Warp Dice player. He's playing KO.
Yeah, this list is gnarly.
Is it? Okay, let's
brutal.
pull it up. I don't know much about KO.
I don't think it's changed since him and I played a black practice game against each other.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I think it was just rolls and also a combination of me like getting the right buffs at the right time, but it didn't do super well. He ended up dumping the entire army's shooting into one unit of gluttons and he didn't kill it. And I was like, oh god. Okay.
Horrible.
Oh my god.
Really bad.
What? And they've got like a 5-up save, right?
It is, but all out defense and -1 to hit, -1 to wound for shooting attacks.
They're -1 to hit and wound for shooting attacks? That's terrifying.
Just -1 to wound normally, but it's -1 to hit because of the Billowing Ash spell that I have as well.
Oh, you went first. He made you go first, right?
No, I went first. I decided to.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
that works. Get that spell up.
Yeah, or no, maybe he did. Is he a 1-drop? No, he did make me go first. That's right.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a 1-drop.
Wow.
Yeah, because I was just thinking, I was like, why would I give KO a double turn? Hold on a second. Like,
yeah.
But yeah, it's an interesting list. Like, it is definitely pretty scary because even after that happened, like, it was a bit of a back and forth. And I can see him, if he's not going into a whole bunch of wounds that are -1 to hit and -1 to wound, and his dice actually treat him well next time, he's gonna murder a lot of stuff with it. So
like anything elite, which it looks like there's a lot of monsters and there's a lot of lists like that, and like he'll just drop monsters like nothing.
Do they get like an extra special thing against monsters?
No, there's just lots of pretty good rend shooting.
I see. Right on.
And it's just like tons of wounds. I think it struggles against, but like elite wounds, I think is what it wants to face.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So,
Which is actually why I think KO was a lot better last season, because last season had a lot more elite units, it seemed like.
that's true. Yeah, that's a good point. Although there were gets, and
That's true.
gets are, took a significant punch to the old, what's.
Yeah.
Right on. I mean, so I guess is he mostly null deploying for this list?
I think it's like just 2 ships,
Oh,
and
okay.
everything's in the 2 ships. I think that's how it deploys.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, then he's
Wow.
got some Arcanaut company sitting on the outside just as like a
Yeah.
screen for them. But
Yeah, screen the ships. Yeah.
Screen the ships out of them. Right on. Okay, that's cool. Andy is really strong with the shooting lists. Okay, we've got a Sylvaneth list by Brian Waters. I think this will be your expertise here, Eric.
Yeah. So Artra, Branch Witch, Drika, Moorsong, Tree Lord Dryads, 6 Karnath with size or with swords,
Oh, it's in Heartwood too, so they're
and 3 with bows. So they're going to get the +1 to hit against a unit or against 3 units, which is nice for the Karnath hunters, especially with the bows.
Yeah.
Got the Tree Lord. The Tree Lord's nice because he can stop people from piling in, and make them fight last.
right.
So the tree and then like kind of teleport around and stuff. So
Ye-
the Tree Lord's kind of a nice little utility piece.
You got to be careful when you charge him because his fight last is on a 3-up, right?
Yeah,
And he
yeah.
just
So he's a good screen too. Yeah, because he can, you can charge him, and then he gets to hit you, and then if you're a big unit, he makes it so you can't pile in, and then you're
and
kind of stuck.
he just does that, right? It's not part of his monstrous action or anything.
He has to attack you to make you not pile in.
Oh no, but I meant for the fight last thing.
Fight last is a monstrous action.
Oh, it is a monstrous action. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember.
Yeah, so he can monstrous action make you fight last, and then when he attacks, if you take any hits, then you fight, or then you can't pile in.
Ooh, yikes. Okay. Very scary. He's got Drycha for some mortal wound shooting.
Yeah, which is always nice. Just teleport her in, blast something, and then try to charge.
And the Arch Revenant for +1 to wound on the.
Yeah, +1 to wound on all the Kurnoth hunters, and then +1 attack command ability. The +1 to wound is just passive, but then the +1 attack is the command ability,
Wow.
which is kind of nice on the swords.
Right.
Um,
Oh,
giving
does
them
he have
+1 attack.
swords? Oh, it's
Yeah, he's got 6 with swords. Because now that the coherency is 6 models, I think swords are pretty good.
I think they're pretty good. I still don't. I'm not sure if I still. I think I might still like the scythes better, just because the 1-inch reach on the swords is just kind of fiddly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but the coherency makes a huge difference. Like, you were only running them in
Yeah.
3s before, so
Yeah.
yeah, it's a good call.
So yeah, I think you'll start seeing 6 swords now.
Because they have
and
the
then-
on them, right?
Yeah. And then some tree revs to teleport around a dryad screen, which is pretty tanky. Might want to hit and wound near the trees.
I like it.
And then no hive as far as I can tell.
Yep. Spite Swarm's Hive near the bottom. Battle Scribe
there it
is
is.
not fun to read.
Yeah,
Especially-
there we go. There's the hive. I guess that's teleport in probably the swords.
Yeah.
Or maybe the tree lord to pin something.
Yeah, that's true. And then he's got the War Song with the traditional Spell Singer.
Yep. So you can blow up a tree, and then Horfrost to probably pump up the swords if they need the rend.
And Acorn of Ages just creates a set of trees, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Which is really important now in Sylvaneth lists because with Primal Dice, people can just stop you from putting up trees.
Right.
Right, which is like the whole thing that you need to do. So you need to be able to cast that spell. And if people just hold their Primal Dice for it, then they can really restrict you. So having the Acorn to get another tree, while also not having to pay for a full Tree Lord Ancient, is a pretty good option, I think.
I think this is a pretty good list, actually.
Yeah, I think it's not the standard meta Sylvaneth list, but I think it's like got some tools adapted for the new GHB. So
Yeah,
I think it's good. I like that list.
me too. It'll do well against elite armies, especially like with high saves, because a lot of mortal wounds on the and then also like access to Blizzard and such. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. The next one is Fangs of Sotek, Calvin Osterdahl.
Yeah, it's Croak list. It's very similar to my list.
Is it?
Yep. So it's Croak, Troglodon, Slan, Slan's General, Lord of Celestial Resonance, Space Folder Stave. He's got Hoarfrost.
Nice.
And then a Starseer with Blizzard and an Astro. And then 5 Chargers, 5 Guard, 10 Skinks. 5 Hunters with Bolas, 3 Terrawings, Geminids, and Maelstrom.
Wow.
Yeah, it's similar to like this was my list was almost this before I changed it like a couple weeks ago. So I think it was a really good list.
Dang. Yeah, that's it's looking good.
Yeah, it's interesting. He's got instead of taking my list, I took it a second spell. It looks like instead he took the second artifact to give the +1 to save to the Trog, which is good.
Oh,
I considered that on mine because the Trog's pretty important, and giving him a base 3-up save is pretty good.
Also,
or
the
not base
-1
3-up,
to
but
hit.
4-up +1.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then -1 to hit, and he usually has a ward save, and then he becomes pretty tanky, so that's pretty good.
Dang.
2 units of guard, so it's his castle's pretty protected, and then a couple of just annoying chaff units in the Hunters and the Terrawings, and 10 Skinks. And then Geminids, I think, is good against, like, OBR, for example.
Right.
Turn off their command abilities.
Right.
And then Maelstrom is completely unfair. So it's in the list, because obviously.
There's no mirror here, though.
No mirror. But because the extra range, you can put it out 14, and then it moves 8, so you can get it 22 away from you,
Whoa.
and then it blows up 12, so you can, you don't really need the thing to use it.
That's a great call.
But I have the portal just because it gives me, some utility with the Trog, because I can put the Trog anywhere, getting that extra range to be able to tandem those two things together. I like that utility. So I still like the portal, but I think that playing it without the portal is perfectly reasonable.
Yeah, that's a great call. I forgot even what the staff does, because I'm not a dirty Starborn player.
Oh yeah, the staff is summon at 7, which is also critical.
That's really good.
So you can just pop Raptidons down, and then they get +1 to charge. So then you just get them in, get them in most of the time on 6.
Oh, I see. Wait, so what gives the what do you call it, Maelstrom, the extra range?
The Astrolith Bear.
Oh, duh! Right on. Okay, great call.
Yeah,
great call. Cool. That's a really
What's
cool
your
list.
opinion on the because he has a Warlord and a Battle Regiment. What is your opinion on having a Battle Regiment instead of like
more?
anything
that just grants like 1 buff or something like that? Because there's already 5 drops. I feel like
I mean, I would take the
Acolyte Battalion.
Oh, he doesn't have. Does he have enough heroes for Endorian Acolytes? How many heroes? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I would have taken the Endorian Acolytes battalion. My old list had Warlord and Endorian Acolytes instead of the Battle Reg. My new list has Warlord, Endorian Acolytes, and Battle Reg, because I got the 6th hero in there. But yeah, I think getting the extra primal dice would probably make this list better.
I agree. Like, I've started playing. First I took Acolytes just to show it off on the channel, and now I'm like, if I've got wizards, I want that battalion.
Yeah.
Unless I want it, unless I need to be a 1-drop. If I don't need to be a 1-drop, first priority is Acolytes, literally, and then and if possible, I want to put 3 wizards in there, in case one of them dies, and then from there, you go down the chain from there, because you could be at 3 drops with just 2 Acolytes and a 1-drop, right? At that point,
I think that's where a lot of people are going to end up, is at 3 drops. I think a lot of the 1-drops are going to migrate their way to 3.
I agree. Yeah. Even 4 maybe, but like once you get to 5, I feel like you just go all out.
Yeah. Although I did really like being 6 drops instead of 11 recently, because I played 2 other 11-drop armies and I got to choose. It's awesome.
Wow. Damn. That's crazy. Well, there also is and we should probably mention that he can't be a 1-drop. This guy.
Yeah, that's right, because
Yeah.
of Croak and the Trog.
Exactly. Yeah. So I feel like a Warlord or a probably a Warlord and the Acolyte Battalion would have probably been a better choice, but I don't know.
I mean, if you want to be low drops, I would make this list. I would drop the. If you want to be low drops, I would drop the artifact on the Trog and go double battle reg and go 2 drops. That's what I would do if I wanted to be low drops.
Right on. Yeah. I mean, and then you wouldn't get the +1 save on the Trog. I guess maybe he's figuring, well, I'm probably not getting to choose anyway, so I want to keep my Trog safe.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a good. That's the first choice of an artifact. I think is that artifact, but I just don't know. Yeah. I mean, being able to choose most of the time would be awesome, but if people are still 1-drop, then being 2-drop doesn't help you. So I don't know.
Right.
I ended up being 6. I think being 5 is not bad, but I think you probably want the primal dice a little bit more. Is my opinion.
I agree. Agreed. Okay.
But yeah, good list. That's one to look out for sure.
For sure. Good call. Okay, Chris LeBeau is playing Cruel Boys. I don't feel any need to look at this. What about you guys?
I'm just looking at it.
I know Cruel Boys. We can look at the list, but it's
pretty usual stuff.
Is it?
3/3 of Bolt Boys, 2 Killabos, Gravetide, 2 Shamans.
That's how you know he's in trouble. He's got 2 Killabos.
Swamp Boss.
Like
Rego Boss on Trog.
My hat is off to this gentleman, whoever he is, playing Cruel Boys and taking 2 Killabos. We salute you, sir.
I mean, honestly, like, I think there's a lot of monsters in the local meta, and if you're facing monsters all the time, it's a pretty reasonable choice.
That's true. Yeah, I mean, it's a better list than the things that I usually play. I prefer the Bolt Boys in a bigger group, just so you can add poison to them a lot easier, and you can also all out attack them. But there you go.
But yeah,
right
I think that's probably what we need to say about Cruel Boys.
Indeed. Okay, we got a Gloomspite Gets list. This I just want to see out of curiosity more than anything.
Yeah, you got to talk about this one. This is the spider one. I want you to tell me how this one works.
What a guy! I feel like I almost shouldn't, just because. Okay, well, anyway, I'm gonna do it anyway because it's awesome. I mean, this is not going to be a competitive list in general. Like, spiders are, even though they got buffed and everything else got nerfed, it's still not the best thing in the army, to be honest. But the Web Spinner Shaman on a Ragnarok, he's the general. So then you got the super nasty Venom. I think that's the one where you get like more
Venom,
more mortal wounds. Yeah. Sneaky Distraction, I think is minus. No, is it? I can't remember what that spell does off the top of my head. But the thing to remember about the Web Spinner on a Ragnarok is he does give +1 to cast around him in a pretty big bubble for other Web Spinner Shamans, which he does have one more of. He has Scuttling Terrors too. Which I think is the mortal wounds on like against hordes. I could be wrong about that, but putting that aside, he doesn't like. I usually would put like Blizzard or something on him.
I was just about to say my one disappointment in this list is that there's no Blizzard.
Yeah, and then he's got a Madcap Shaman, which means he doesn't own another Web Spinner Shaman, right? Oh, but he does have. Well, he's got the Staff of Sneaky Stealing. I think that's the thing where you can steal spells if you unbind. I can't remember now. Like, this is so out of the freaking meta. It's crazy, right?
Sweet.
Yeah, it's pretty dope. And then he's got the Scuttle Boss on Gigantic Spider with the Totem of the Spider God. That's the one where I think you can only wound him on 5s.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a really dope. Or it's hit him on 5s or something like that. It's really good. Oh, -1 to hit in a 12-inch bubble. Oh, that's actually a lot better than I thought. Okay, that makes a little more sense now because you can't put that on the Web Spinner Shaman. That's a good call. Thanks for that, Ladivicus.
Also, Step of Sneaky Stealing is You add 1 to casting rules for the Baron. Each time they unbind a spell,
That's
you add
what it
1
is.
to casting rules for the rest of the
For
battle.
the rest of the battle. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's a pretty fun thing.
That's really fun. That's cool.
And
I
then
like
you can also, if you're throwing your power dice into his binds, you could just make him stronger and stronger. But he's like a 70 wound, like he's 70 point 4 wound guy on like a 6-up or something like that with nothing else. Like
But imagine giving him Blizzard and just like stacking him up until he's got like +5
exactly.
or something.
Yeah, until he can just do it without primal dice.
Just a 70 point, just like.
And then you just save it for last, right? After they've used all their unbinds, and then or primal dice or whatever. I like it.
Yeah.
Okay, Moonclan Shootas. That's the shooty guys.
Speaking of that, I've been thinking about actually doing Blizzard because I've been saving it for last. But then everyone's like, "What am I going to forget about Blizzard?" Right? So like, so it doesn't seem to help. But I find if I do it first, then you can like get rid of all the primal dice, and then you don't have to worry about it.
That's a great
so
call.
my new call is to go for early Blizzard instead of holding it because people aren't down.
I mean,
and then you get the information of exactly how many primal dice it costs them to get rid of your Blizzard.
Huh? That's a good.
So,
I like it.
So I say do Blizzard early. Do it first.
So and then like you spend like if you spend the minimal amount of primal dice to get it off, I guess.
I mean, you do whatever you think you got to do, but like then you at least know how many they spent, and then you kind of know where you're at before. At least for my army, because I cast a lot of spells, so managing primal dice is important to me.
But casting a 12 is almost impossible without primal dice.
Yeah, unless you have a bonus or something. I don't know.
Yeah, fair. I mean, I'm consistently doing it against Carson on a hard 11 with just +1 from my novel, like every freaking time.
I mean, I've got Blizzard off every game I've played this season. So
every time I've taken it, like, or I have something to cast it, I've gotten it off, I think, or my opponent's gotten it off. Yeah,
like you can usually get it in the game, you know.
Yeah.
At some point.
Wow, Ladificus had a Fungoid casting on a +5.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's really.
Then you just need a 7, and you can cast Blizzard. It's amazing.
Yeah, and he couldn't quite fit the Fungoid because the Fungoid is like, I think it's 90, or maybe it's more now. I think it's like 110 or something crazy. So I guess that's why he didn't take it. Anyway, he's got the Arachnarok Spider on Spiderfang War Party, which is a battle line if the general is a spider guy, and then we've got Spider Riders, so that's 270. So that's 3 units of 5. So he's got 1 unit of 15 of those guys.
Nice.
That's crazy. Like those things are unwieldy as hell, right? This guy's a maniac, and I love it. This guy's a true Gitz player. I love him, and I don't even know him.
Oh yeah, he's got Rippa's Snarlfang in there too.
That's insane. That's probably just for screening purposes.
Yeah.
And then
this will be sweet though. You get to see all the stuff you never get to see.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. Okay. I think I'm cheering for him more than you, Eric. I'm sorry. Yeah, this guy's.
That's fair.
Yeah, right. Okay. Then we got Dale rocking Daughters. Well, if we're gonna talk about the strong list, we can't not talk about Daughters.
Yeah, it's a good list. I just played it the other day. It's got 4 avatars and it's got 30 witch elves.
Did you see he's named them?
He names all of them.
Yeah, he names the Bloodwreck Medusa Karen. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm starting to cheer for Dale.
Yeah. But yeah, Medusa with Mind Razor, Medusa with Blizzard.
Oh man,
it's painful. I think Daughters are definitely like kind of a not so secret powerhouse right now, just because we kind of talked about this in our own private Discord, but just to repeat that, like they kind of play in every phase. They're surprisingly tanky. They have like 3 very easy battle tactics to get on top of the GHB's battle tactics, so they're not worried about getting to you in time at all. And then they're surprisingly maneuverable as well. Like
they're fast.
One thing that's kind of weird is like the avatars of Kane, I think, are on like a 40 mil base or something, despite being like this tall.
Yeah.
So they're just like tiptoeing through your lines, just like murdering things.
Yeah, just pirouetting through your lines.
They're pretty slappy, and then he's got the Heart of Fury, which I think is the -1 damage invocation, which means
and then +1 attack, I think, for somebody?
I think it's +1 attack if he rolls a 6.
Right.
But
And then it goes away, which you're kind of
Right.
almost hoping for, really. 'Cause
Sure.
otherwise, you're never getting rid of it unless you have a priest. It's insane. So
Yeah.
hope you brought a priest.
Yeah.
And then it's got the big breaker of witch elves of 30 that you can rally on a 4-up. So it's like,
Jeez,
you know, you got it. So you got to kill them all.
That's from the.
So it's a good list.
That's from the 4-up rally comes from the Zealous Orator command trait on the Tag Queen. So
On the Cauldron. Yeah. So it's a good list.
Mind
I don't know.
Razor is
It's just
kind
kind
of a
of
crazy
good at
spell.
everything.
Go ahead, sorry.
I was just saying that's good at everything, you know?
yeah.
Yeah. Mind Razor is kind of a crazy spell, like +1 damage on the charge and +1 red, which is like
Yeah.
It's an 8. It's casting value 8, but I think probably what makes it bad is that I think he runs a Acolytes battalion, so he's most likely got a primal die, and probably more than you.
Yeah.
And obviously being this GHB, like casting value 8 is not that bad anymore. So
Yeah, that's the thing. The reliability of Mind Razor, I think, is what's brought this list back to life, I think. Because it made it so you don't just have to have snakes, you can have witch elves again. Because witch elves kind of need Mind Razor to be good. And if you can do it reliably, then I think a 30 and some 10s is a pretty good way to go.
Yeah.
I think this list might struggle against Khorne a little bit because Khorne is probably just gonna, or anything with an auto unbind is just gonna be like, nope to Mind Razor.
Yeah.
Someone's,
Yeah, for
because
sure.
that's like the spell that they need to get off essentially.
Yeah.
That's a good call. That's a great call.
And Khorne has priests too, so
Right. Yeah. A lot of priests usually. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great call. Okay. We got Damon with Hedonites. Do you want to talk about this, Eric?
Yeah.
I don't know anything about Hedonites. Everything I learned in the review we did, I've forgotten completely. It's gone. I'm just gonna grab a drink real quick.
It's fast. It's going to want to build its depravity up early, so it's going to chuck something into you like the 10 Seekers maybe, or the 5 Slicks. I mean, 10 Seekers is actually pretty annoying to get thrown in your face top of 1, and they can be almost anywhere because they run 2d6 and then they can run and charge.
Wow.
And they move like 16,
Jeez.
so they move 16 and then 4d6 into you
Whew.
with +1 to run and +1 to charge, so it's like 18 and then 46. So like they can be anywhere. And that's a pretty big unit, 10 of them. That's like, I mean, it's only 20 wounds, I guess, on a 5-up save.
I think our group might be weak to Slaanesh because our only player of Slaanesh was you.
Yeah, and mine's not pants. I don't know.
Yeah.
And then it's got 2 units of archers that are going to be farming depravity. It's got the Slick Blade or the Bliss Barb Seekers as well, which can lower your save. And then it's got the Keeper. So I imagine that what it does is it throws the 10 Seekers into you on the first turn and shoots you with all the archers and tries to build this depravity up to the -1 to hit. And maybe the 6s are mortals or whatever it is, or maybe it's exploding 6s, I forget. But the first 2 tiers, I think, is probably where it wants to try to get on the first turn by chucking that stuff into you. And then it's probably trying to pair the Seeker or the Keeper Secrets with the Slick Blades, and then it can make them fight twice. I think that's probably how it tries to play.
I have a theory. I mean, let me bounce this off of you. It has Geminids. Do you think maybe the Geminids are there to stop all-out defense, so you're more likely to take the offer from Slaanesh?
Maybe. I just think Geminids are generally pretty good. Like they would stop you from, especially for Slaanesh, because they want to hit you in every phase, right? Like they want to shoot you, and then they want to charge you, and then they want to fight you in combat, right? So they can stop your all-out defense and shooting. They can stop your all-out defense and combat. They can stop your redeploy. It's pretty good for the way they want to play because they need to do all of that stuff every turn. So if they can stop you from being able to defend it, then that's pretty good.
One of these days I should really paint my Geminids.
The only thing I don't like here is Flaming Weapon on the Keeper of Secrets. People keep doing this. They keep putting Flaming Weapon on guys that have 3 attacks.
Yeah.
And so best case scenario, you get 3. And so Arcane Bolt is D3 mortal wounds, and so Arcane Bolt is about the same.
Arcane Bolt is D3 if you're in combat, but you need Flaming Weapon
But
to be
you
in
have
combat
to
as
be,
well. So
so
is there any way of adding plus attacks to him?
And like Arcane Bolt is like the worst spell in the game. So how would Flaming Weapon being worse than that be something that you would like choose for like an enhancement? That's my feeling on Flaming Weapon. I'm just totally against it. I think it's terrible always, unless your guy has like 10 attacks. Like I actually would have put Flaming Weapon on the Epitome because it is 8 attacks.
I love Flaming Weapon on my Deceiver, but he has 6 attacks and -3.
Even 6. It's not worth it. There's something better.
He's going
Mystic
around.
Shield. Mystic Shield is better.
I don't think the Deceiver is takeable because he has 2 damage each on 6 attacks. Like Flaming Weapon he goes from him like killing a unit or to not killing a unit. Like and you can put him on
in that case.
You can put him on 2s and 2s, pretty easy.
Or if you're getting full value like that, I guess it's all right. I don't know. I don't like it here. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, on three attacks, I'm 100% with you. Yeah. Okay.
But it's got the Girdle of the Realm Racer, so this keeper can fly, which is pretty good.
Dang.
Hunter Supreme is +1 attack, I think, on the charge. So that'd be like 3 attacks on the claws.
I'm gonna.
And the Shining Aegis for the 6-up ward save.
What do you think about that?
I would actually swapped. Oh, you can't put Horfrost on the keeper, can you?
No.
That's why.
Too many wounds.
That's why. Yeah.
Right on.
And then the Infernal Enrapturus makes the opponents have to reroll successful casts, which is pretty good in this Magic meta. So,
right
yeah,
on.
interesting list.
Cool. That's definitely one to look out for. We got Darren Martins with Soulblight Gravelords. Should I talk about that real quick?
Yeah, looks like a bunch of zombies.
Oh, is it? Pretty simple stuff. Legion of Night for even more movement shenanigans and sort of blue deck stopping you from doing what you want to do. Morbeg's Claw for plus to cast. It's really strong this season. The traditional Vampire Lord on Zombie Dragon for something punchy. Necromancer for, I guess, for Horfrost mostly. Doesn't even have any of the Necromancer spells on there. That's interesting. I think it would have gone, well, I don't know. I have to see the rest of the list, but I guess he's protected by the zombies because they give bodyguard to him.
Right.
Another Vampire Lord on Zombie Dragon with Unbending Will. I'm not sure about that one. And Vile Transference, I think it's just the one where it's like the Maw spell on ogres, but it's just 1 mortal wound for each like 4-up. It's pretty bad. Unless I'm thinking of the wrong one, which is possible. 2 units of Fellbats is very interesting. They're very fast, cheap units. Deadwalker zombies. So we got 1 unit of 40, a unit of 20. Skeletons, more zombies. We got a corpse card in there. Yeah, it's okay, I think this is mostly a fun list, other than the fact that it is Legion of Night and it's going to just kind of mess with you.
Yeah, it's like two big dragons and then a whole bunch of bodies.
Yeah, and like,
Makes sense to me.
Yeah, I agree. And you can bring them back, obviously, with their battle trait. So, yeah, it's cool. I like it. Darren's got Sylvaneth too. Do we want to talk about that one? I mean, there's quite a few Sylvaneth in here.
Yeah, this is kind of similar to the other list, except for instead of swords, he's kind of running Durthu and then Lancers as a second hammer.
Nice.
Other than that, it's pretty similar.
Pretty similar? Okay.
He's got the Ancient to get the tree out instead of the Acorn.
Right. Yeah, that's even... I kind of like that even more.
Yeah, I mean, it's better. It's just more expensive. That's all.
Right on. And then we got Beasts of Chaos, all heard. I don't know anything about Beasts of Chaos.
I don't really either, because I was selling my Beasts of Chaos at the time that the book came out, and so I specifically didn't want to learn about Beasts of Chaos because then I didn't want to keep my army. I wanted to get rid of it, so I didn't learn about them. But 9 Bulgors is pretty gnarly.
They are very hard hitting, and they're not that easy to kill. So I do.
And I think they can just show up on your doorstep at 7 inches. I think.
Yeah.
Charge.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Or a forest, right?
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, and then a couple of Bray Shamans, Doom Bull. I mean, it's all about that 9 Bulgor unit, really. Your Gorgon.
Yeah, for real. They're really scary.
Oh, and then the 6 Enlightened on discs. That's the other thing running into interference.
Oh!
So those 2 units are kind of the.
That'll stop you from using commands in the combat phase.
Yeah, and they're just super fast and pretty good in combat,
and I hear
so it's kind of those 2 hammers. One's
I've heard good
one's
things.
really hitty and one's pretty fast.
And I've heard really good things if you put what's it called, not Blizzard, Hoarfrost on the Enlightened, they'd become really fighty with any kind of wind. Oh, that's cool. I like it.
That's cool. There's a couple beast lists. I kind of hope I play beasts. I never get to play beast cast, so
yeah, they're
sort of hoping I run into one of these lists.
I think with like even a small resculpt, they would be a very popular faction, but alas, right on. Okay. Blades of Corn, Dayton.
Yeah, this is the list to beat, I think.
Well, we better talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. If Matthias had only shown up.
Yeah, it's like 700 wounds of bloodletters, and they just keep coming back forever for free for no reason. It's bullshit, and I hate it.
Whoa,
that's
really?
That's my take on the list.
No, how do they come back?
Summoning.
Oh.
Yeah, that's the problem. Is like anytime you kill a unit of Corn. Oh god, he's got 50 bloodletters. I didn't even see that. He only said the one block of 30, and I was like, all right.
Yeah, dude, it's 100 wounds and bloodletters, and then he probably gets another 40 or maybe 80 again during the game.
Jeez.
Yeah, 40 is pretty common to see again. Because it's 8 blood type to bring in a squad of 20 bloodletters.
Wow.
Yeah,
just pretty
40 wounds.
Oh, and by the way, he has Bellicor.
He does have Bellicor, which I find actually to be an interesting and smart thing to do, because one thing that I've noticed about playing against Corn a lot is that if you just sit back and let them kind of gas themselves out turn 1, they actually don't have a very good battle tactic turn 1, and you can kind of force them to use your their what is the one being at? So to intimidate the invaders. And if you can get anytime you can get someone to use that super early, you're doing good. But if they have Bellicor, they can just like keep him way in the back because he moves like 14 inches or something. And then just magical dominance turn 1 if you give it to them. So smart choice. And obviously being able to turn one thing off is very, very good.
Yes.
Yeah. And then he can sort of turn into like this sort of utility demon monster guy with his -1 to wound spell and his, half decent fighting profile, and you can chuck him in, and you don't kind of care about him after the first turn, because once he's like got your battle tactic and done his Bellicor Dark Master thing, then like you don't care if he lives or dies. You can just go throw him into something. So
right.
I think he's pretty good in this list, particularly. Like, I think he synergizes with the list really well.
Yeah, I agree. Matthias tried to use him in a battle report, and then he put him a little too close to his screen, and I just snuck in there turn 1 with a bunch of eels and just murdered him or whatever over top of the screen. But if you don't do that, and if you roll like halfway decent ethereal saves, the only problem with Bellicor is, of course, that he's rocking a 4-up ethereal, not a 3-up, so it can be
Oh, he's killable for sure.
Yeah,
like he's not tanky at all.
Almost 2, and he doesn't even have a 6-up anymore, does he?
No.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah,
but whatever. So, I still think he's more than worth his points, to be honest.
Yeah, he does his job well. I think he's good. And then the icon and the Hexgorger skulls, which you can't remove, so you just have to deal with them. And then the Bloodmaster he fights first, and then he makes the Bloodletters fight first. So then they always get to go before you get to go. Jeez. And then it's just a really good list. And then they can push you and pull you, and or push themselves, and then pull you in movement. And it's just a good list.
Right on.
Yeah, he charges you with all 3 of those units, the Herald and the 2 Bloodletters. So like he'll get to attack with all of them before you get to attack with anything.
Yeah. But there'll be nothing left for you to attack with. And if there is, then like it won't matter because it's 100 wounds of guys.
Jeez.
Does he have a banner to pop for the +1 attack?
Don't think so. No.
Maybe that's the only thing that could have been better. Just because I know that if you spam a lot of Bloodletters and then you give them all +1 attack, like then
Oh, he has two. He has two blood masters though, so they each get their own. Okay, there we go. That's how it works.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's gnarly. I mean, I don't know.
That's super gnarly, and it's very anti-magic as well. On top of all of that,
Yeah, yeah. Then it's got the 5-up ignore and the free blood tithe
and it's got like
against magic.
And if you're not within, is it 8 inches of them? Then
They got a 5-up ward. Yeah,
5-up ward for all the demons, right?
yeah.
Craziness.
Strong list. It's a really strong list.
Very
I think it's
Yeah.
159 wounds.
Wow.
Crazy.
That's a lot.
and he's
That's
bringing
a lot
back
when you're
too.
yeah when you're summoning 80 additional. That's a lot.
God dang. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. So I think it just drowns you in wounds. That's how I think it plays,
And drowns
and
you
it's
in
good at it.
pokey bloodletters too. I'm assuming it's the faction, the bloodletter faction, whatever that is.
Probably. I don't really know those factions of Khorne that well.
Me neither. You guys knew more about them in general than I did. Slaughterhost the Bloodlords. I think that's right. Maybe the chat can tell us. I'm sorry to hear that about that Bahamut. Doomwheel's dying is par for the course, though.
It is the blue letter one. Yeah,
It is,
says
right.
mortal wounds are caused on unmodified roll of 5+ instead of 6.
That's
If it made a charge
right.
move that turn.
still
Right. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
God damn.
I thought that was on their war scroll because everyone runs it, I guess.
That's
funny.
Yeah. Yeah, if
It
you're
seems
running
actually
bloodletters, right?
Matthias runs Reapers of Vengeance, I think. maybe
Matthias
not.
Oh, does he?
is a proper hipster, though. And my hat would be off to him, but he's not here today. So what are you going to do?
Yeah.
Alex Gonzalez, who won Emerald City Open, also ran Reapers of Vengeance. The extra blood tithe is big. Like, whenever you kill a
That's
hero,
true.
it's 2 blood tithe instead of 1.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's a great call, actually, to be honest. Because like then it's like you've always got an auto unbind if you want it. Like that's pretty strong
Yeah.
against some armies, right?
True.
Like,
And in addition, it's +1 to hit against enemy heroes with all of your demon units. And obviously, bloodletters are demons,
Yeah.
so
wow.
they're just going
That's
to murder.
true. Yeah. Yeah,
Like
big monsters and stuff. Yeah.
Alex would be afraid of this list, for sure.
Yeah.
I think maybe like it's one of those things where the 4D chess kind of play is the one that Matthias runs, but this is the kind of thing I would rather do. Just you know what I mean?
Yeah, this is this brute force. This is just run you over.
Exactly. Brute force, and like I'm a big advocate of, you know, a simple list is you have more mental space to think about the game and less about your list and making sure you're doing all the things. So I kind of like it for that too. But
Yeah.
do we want to talk about Hammers of Sigmar?
I mean, it's a dragons list. It's got 6 evocators on Dracolines. It's got the dragon hero and some dragons.
Right.
I don't know. That's about it, really. That's all I had to say. It's got 6 long strikes, which I think is weird because then they can't do the shooting the hero face thing.
Right.
So I would have split those and let one of them shoot in the hero face, but you know.
I actually agree. And it's got the Lord Arcanum on Griff Charger, so I guess he can ride the Winds Etheric and just kind of
Yeah,
motor
teleporter.
around.
And I actually think that's an underrated piece in that army.
I agree. Although I might have chosen to still have the Lantern Boy. I just think that's such a strong ability where it's just like you can't even interact with it.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, it is pretty good, especially if you're running dragons. But
Yeah.
you know,
But yeah.
that's that. I like this Lumineth list
Okay.
with all the wind chargers. I don't really know exactly how it works, but
Wind Chargers
it
are
looks
cool.
fun.
Yeah.
Got a bunch of wind chargers, like 4 units of wind chargers, and then a big unit of wardens.
Those are the kangaroo guys, right?
Yeah,
Right.
And then 2 lore seekers, and Eltharion, and then Spirit of the Wind.
That's a really
Cool
cool list. I love it
Yeah,
when
it's really
people-
mobile. It's fun. It's got the ballista.
and it's different. That's so awesome.
Yeah,
Cogs
Yeah, it's
too.
it's not techless sentinels, so that's cool.
Yeah, yeah. Points for that.
Yeah, I don't really have any like insight into how it plays or works or anything,
Me
but,
neither.
but it's cool. It's a fun looking list.
I
I bet you it looks great.
I don't really have it for Maggotkin either, but we can look at it on a simple level. Blow
Yeah,
Brought
what's this?
spawned, and the Glockkin.
Oh, Glockin, there he is. Countercharge.
It's got all the three like
Yeah, the
yeah,
three big guys.
yeah.
Cereality. So he's got two of the whatever they're called, and then Glockin. And then 30 Plague Bearers, 10 Rotmeyer Creed, 10 Rotmeyer Creed. It's awesome.
1940.
Awesome.
This man wants that triumph.
Yeah, it's 3 big monsters and a big blob of dudes, and then 2 little champions. Awesome.
I actually think it's kind of dope.
Yeah.
I don't know how good it is, especially when you don't have any like Nurglings for countercharging stuff, but it's gonna look cool, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's pretty fun.
Very cool.
I'm excited about that.
Yeah, same. And then we've got Erik. Should we talk about your list? I mean, it's pretty much the same as that other one.
I mean, yeah, we kind of already did, but like
Yeah.
we can.
We'll talk about the difference, I guess, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have. I only have 5 guard, and they had 2 units of 5 guard.
Right.
And then instead of taking the Warcry stuff, whatever the Chameleon Skinks and the Terror Wings,
The Hunters
I'm
of
taking.
yeah.
Yeah, so I'm taking Pendulum, and then I have an extra wizard. I have the Star Priest. Because if you're going all in on Magic, you should just go all in and take 6 heroes, in my opinion.
Yep. And you've got the not the triumph, but the spell.
Spell enhancement. So
Thank
I've got
you.
2 spells on everybody. Because I wanted all the spells that I already had, and then they gave me a Hoarfrost and Blizzard, and I wanted those too. So
Hell
I
yeah.
dropped the because I originally had the +1 to save on my Trog as well, but I dropped that for the extra spells when the GHB came out.
I think that's a good call.
Yeah, and then it's kind of your standard gross Seraphon Croak list, and I am running acolytes for the extra dice because I'm casting a lot of spells. I want to have the dice.
How many acolytes do you have in there? 3?
Just 2.
2? Right on. Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm taking the battle regiment, I do want to minimize my drops, so I am 6 drops.
Right on. Yeah.
Which means that I don't play the drop game, but if other people aren't playing it, I win. So
Right on. You're half.
so it might give me if I can get to choose twice in the tournament, I'll be stoked.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, I think that'll be actually pretty lucky. I'm usually max 5 unless I have some kind of artillery, like warp lightning cannon nonsense that I just can't get away from.
Yeah.
But okay. Another maggot kin.
Yeah, he's got Blobe as well. A couple sorcerers with Hoarfrost, and nobody's got Blizzard. What's going on here?
Slimix though. That's pretty dope.
Yeah, Harticulus for the free tree, and then you got Rot for the bringing guys off sideboard.
2 Rotmeyer Creeds.
No, that's weird. So got Rot and then no Blight Kings. Weird.
Again, no Blight Kings. That other one didn't have them either.
Yeah. So 20 Plague Bearers, 2 Beasts, drones, Rotmeyer Creed. I'm not really sure what this list is trying to do. I don't get it.
I think he's trying to, because he's got 2 of the Rotmeyer, so I think he's trying to really farm those.
The disease.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then do summoning with the extra trees, maybe. I think it's a really cool list, and I think Slimix is one of the coolest models in the entire range. So
yeah, I haven't played very much Nurgle, so I
yeah.
played it a little bit, but not a ton. So that'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, we need to get some more Nurgle on the channel, but we are sadly missing Nurgle players lately, which is weird because when I started AOS 1,
I know everybody played Nurgle.
Everyone played them. I felt like I didn't know anyone who didn't play them.
Yeah, but there was only 3 armies, and they were the coolest ones. So.
That's true. Not to me, but I am.
Wrong. We know.
I'm coming around eventually, but I'll start with Pestilence first.
But you do like this next army.
I sure do. Coatl's Claw, that's how real players play the Seraphon.
Yeah, with their 38% win rate. That hurt really bad when I heard that. I was just because I've been kind of struggling trying to play this army, and I'm like, is it just me? Am I bad at this? And then I'm like, okay, 38.
It's
38's pretty good. 38's low.
It's not easy for sure. Yeah, I feel like I think it's a mixture of the two. I think that they're better than 38%. I think
and like if you can win with Iron Jaws, you can win with this.
exactly. And I think a lot of it is there's a lot of people like I'm noticing in the Facebook group, a lot of people going like, I love dinosaurs. I'm into AOS now. What do I do? You know what I mean? I love this army. I don't know what to do, so teach me what to do. And it's a lot of that, like really, really basic questions like that, you know. Anyway, so we got the Old Blood. Heck yeah. Vengeful Defender for the extra movement. Blade of Realities. This is virtually what I take in almost every game. I was kind of not liking him at first, and now I'm coming around, and I'm really into the Carnosaur again because of that. It's like you have a free command point. If he's up front, you've got a free command point every phase.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And then if you have Croak or a Slan, you're just drowning in CP. It's crazy. Anyway. Saurus Scar Veteran on Agrodon, so that's to buff the Agrodons that I'm assuming are in the list. Star Master with Ixty Grubs for the reroll.
See, I don't know. I don't understand Hoarfrost here.
Well, you can put it on the Agrodons.
Yeah, I just feel like if you're taking a Slan, the reason you're taking the Slan is to take state weapons.
He's got a unit of 6 Croxagore. That's where they're going. You put Hoarfrost on them, and they're actually pretty good.
Yeah, no, I understand Hoarfrost in the list. I just don't understand why not. I guess you have to have Heavenly Frenzy.
You kind of do
for run and charge,
especially for some of these units that he's picked. So
yeah,
I'm not.
Yeah, I guess you do need Hoarfrost in there.
I
just feel like you can get it cheaper because the reason you pay for a Slan in the list is so you can get access to Empower Celestite. So I feel like you could put a.
I think they're a little bit.
I feel like you could put a Starseer in there with that, and it would have the same effect, and you'd save 125 points. But
I think that's a good call. I mean, to be fair,
but that's me.
They're running 2 spawns of Chotek, so I think there's a little bit, and they're running Croxagore at all. I think this is someone running like the units that he really likes.
It's true.
Yeah.
It does have like the 6 Agrodons is awesome.
Yeah,
I've been running 6 Agrodons lately, and they're sweet.
I love my Agrodons.
And if you can get Hoarfrost off on the 6 Croxagore, that's pretty good too. I like that there's 2 skink screens in here. It's because you can score that battle tactic to steal an objective with skinks.
I probably wouldn't have taken.
Always good.
I wouldn't have taken 2 myself. I would have much rather have but
I like 2 actually. I like screens. I don't know. I always like having screens.
I like screens too, but if you take out one of the spawns of Chotek and the unit of skinks, you can fit in a unit of Saurus warriors. They make a much stronger screen, and then you just have the. I mean, that's up to everyone's personal choice. That's me. I did take a unit of skinks in that last battle report, and it was good. To be fair, I don't think it's come out yet.
I think you want 2 also. Because like if you have a place you need that -1 save, you got to shoot both.
Yeah, that's fair. If you're gonna take 1, you might as well take 2, is what you're saying.
Yeah,
right?
that's what I'm saying. Like, don't take any if you're only gonna take 1. Because I've played 1 a few times and it sucks. It doesn't do anything ever.
It's the only new unit that I didn't buy.
Yeah, but I think if you run 2, that's the way to make it do like something.
That's fair.
I still don't think it's very good, but I think it's like it does something if you run 2.
You really did like a full circle on that unit, hey? You were like, when it first came out, I remember you were like, this thing is terrible. It's overpriced. It's garbage. And then I was like, I think I see something here. And you're like, no, you're an idiot. This is terrible. And then you were like messaging me. You're like, I think I kind of love it. Like, I'm going to use it.
And now it's bad.
And now you're just like, no, it's garbage. I was right the first time. Anyway.
And then this thing has Maelstrom, which...
The Coatl's Claw?
Yeah, but it doesn't have.
It's got the Slan with the Ixty group.
But it doesn't have the Astro, so it's not getting the extra range. Ugh. So it's a pretty dangerous thing to cast.
Yeah. Because
I don't know about that.
It might zap you. Maybe they don't know.
They got 25 points left, so they could have 55 points.
So there's a few things they could do.
Yeah, they could have Pendulum.
Yeah.
Pendulum's only 40, right?
Yeah.
Or is it 60?
I think so, but I was thinking, isn't Geminids 50?
Yeah, or Geminids is better too, yeah.
And then they have 5 points to spare.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Cool.
Right on. Okay, now we're on to another Seraphon list, Fangs of Sotek. Another
Yeah, this is
sellout.
interesting.
Oh,
So
yeah?
it's like it doesn't have Croak. It's the same list but with no Croak.
Really?
Yeah, and then instead of Croak, it's got
Oh,
6 Croxagore and then 5 Hunters with Dart Pipes, 5 Hunters with Dart Pipes, which I think is actually pretty good.
really? um, so they're just
So this is
going
kind of
around
like I played a list
popping stuff with
kind of like this. Yeah, I
ro-
mean, I don't really. I mean, I guess it's trying to play sort of like Coalesce
yeah, and
with
I
the
guess
big Croxagore unit and the Bastillodon.
and if any of them if any of the skinks die near the Crocsgore, they're a little bit. Oh no, wait, isn't that only for the worst bond?
Yeah.
So whatever,
Um,
I give up. Wait, 6 Croxagore. It says 160 points. That's not right.
yeah, they're all gonna have wrong points. The Armstrong right now.
Oh, it's just like that. But the total is right, I
Yeah.
assume.
Yeah, the total's right. It just
Okay.
doesn't show reinforcements as double points for some reason.
Got you. Okay. Right
Yeah, I
on.
don't know. It's an interesting list. I don't really get it. It's sort of like a Croak list without Croak, and it has Croxagore instead. So
Fair enough.
yeah.
Right on. Okay. Where do we got? We got.
And then we got Giants. I mean, it's 3 big Giants and 3 small Giants next.
Okay. You know what though? What's interesting is Matthias was saying that he thinks Giants are going to be good this season, and we never.
Well, I think they are too, because the objectives are all small in number and close together, so they can just go stand on objectives.
Okay.
But I think because of that, people are going to be running. I think we're starting to see things coalescing into bigger hammers because of that, and so I think there's going to be bigger hammers out there.
So when you're saying next, you're just kind of saying because it's just like it's nothing particularly interesting. It's just 3 big smashing
Yeah,
Giants.
I mean, it's just like Giants just kind of stand on the objectives, you know?
Yeah, that's true. Beast Smasher for the whack, the extra whack on monsters. Kraken Eater for extra grabby and moving around objectives, which is actually super obnoxious, I think, probably.
Yeah, like double Kraken Eater is what makes this list gnarly.
Yeah.
Because it's got, and then I actually do like that the Man Crushers are all separate. They're all singles.
Right.
So it's kind of like 3 Giants and then Chaff, which is to me better than 4 big Giants.
Okay.
And then it's got Jaws, which is kind of cool, actually. What I like about them having Jaws is it means that they don't get the Nullstone adornment, and don't make my hero phase have a Null Dust.
Okay.
So that's why I personally like them.
Right. Okay. Well, then why don't we move on from there? Sylvaneth. Do we want to talk about another Sylvaneth one? Is there anything interesting going on?
It's kind of the same. It's got the hammer is 6 sides in this one, but it's got the hive,
Right on.
the war song, and the ancient
It's.
for the tree.
It feels like the Sylvaneth lists are kind of similar, so that's why I'm kind of like.
Yeah,
Kind of
it's got 6 seekers. I like the 6 seekers.
Right.
Remnant seekers to bring guys back. So it's kind of got the 2 hammers, but
Right on.
yeah, it's okay.
Right on. Kenrick, friend of the channel's rocking some Gloomspite Gits.
Yep.
He's got King's Gits, Web Spinner, nice, 2 Web Spinners, Trog Boss, Fungoid, Scragrot, Stabas, Bounders, Gaba Palooza, 2 units of Trolls. I like it. Fun list.
Yeah, this is how you do it. 65-point Hoarfrost, 65-point Blizzard. What more can you say about that?
For real.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And it's got
2 units of 6 trolls. That's tough.
and he's got the Nibla's Itty Ring where you can get you get plus to cast depending on what battle round it is. So you can throw him in there with like a teleport late game, and then he's like rocking like a +5 or something like that for his Blizzard, and just nuke something or whatever +4 depending on what round it is. Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, I like King's Gits for getting guys back.
Yeah, I agree. Got to protect that shrine.
He played me with that list not too long ago. It's really well rounded, and I think that you can do some work with it for sure.
Yeah, 20 Stabas I think should be in every Goblin list. Also, I think Stabas are great at 120 points for 20 guys.
I agree, and their minus to hit native is super good. But my defense for not having it is because I don't want to paint it. So
That's not a very good excuse, but yeah.
I guess.
Moving on.
I'll stick with my squig herd. Thank you very much. Matthias got his blades of corn.
This is blood tithe the army. It's just this blood tithe after blood tithe after blood tithe.
All the way down. Wow. Blood reavers, blood reavers, blood reavers, blood reavers. My God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he takes Overshadow, I think, is his grand strat to just like keep any one of those alive at the end of the battle, essentially.
Jeez,
which
really?
makes sense. Yep, he did really well with it at Emerald City.
What?
Yeah, it's got that got the Be'lakor for the turn one tactics thing we were talking about before. It's got a unit of 30 bloodletters, which is really good.
How does Be'lakor interact with the battle tactics?
So Be'lakor gives you access to magical dominance as a battle tactic. So you can put Be'lakor at the back of your board.
Oh,
and then
I'm sorry.
do magical dominance, and because he's your only spellcaster, you're not like
totally
losing out on casting with other spellcasters or something like that. And he moves super fast, so it doesn't particularly matter if he's that far back.
I'm sorry. I thought there was a battle tactic for Khorne, and I was like, how do they have anything that has something kind of magical? Yeah, I just didn't get it. Yeah. I am being slow. It
just makes them a little. It gives them a little more time. Is what it does basically.
Totally. I actually think it's pretty dope. What do Claws of Karanak do?
Claws of Karanak are like a pre-game move chaff unit, basically.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and then what he'll typically do is he'll do his pre-game move and then just kind of like walk up to your screen or something that he doesn't think is gonna like absolutely destroy it.
Okay.
And then get just outside of combat. He'll probably get a blood tithe in his hero phase, and then what he'll do is on your turn he's just going to murder lust them into combat with your screen at the front of your lines and just like seal you in your own castle, essentially.
Wow. That's the Warcry unit, right? No.
I thought they were an Underworld's band or something.
Yeah, I think.
I thought they were the one that came out with the vampire.
Oh, maybe they are Warcry. I don't know.
No.
I think they're the one that came
It's definitely not like a regular Age of Sigmar thing, though.
No, right? Yeah, doesn't sound like it. Okay. And then
this next list I love is this dwarf list. It's amazing. It's all Iron Drakes and Gyro Bombers and stuff. Sweet.
Okay, so the cities of Sigmar, Greywater?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so Greywater... Oof. Okay. I've got it pulled up. I don't know anything.
I don't really know how this list works, and it's going to be gone in like a week, so it doesn't matter. But the fact that they're playing it for like one last hurrah, I think is awesome.
That's very cool.
It's just like a ton of shooting. The only thing I don't understand is bridge, and the Iron Drakes are all in 10s, so you can only bridge 10. I feel like I would want a 20 if I was going to bridge them.
Yeah, that's fair.
But 10 Iron Drakes, 10 Iron Drakes, 10 Iron Breakers, 10 Iron Drakes. Hellbuster, volley gun, steam tank, two gyro bombers, 2 gyro bombers, 1 gyro bomber, 2 gyro copters.
That's pretty fun.
Like it's just a crazy like Warhammer Fantasy dwarf gun line.
It really is. Godspeed.
Yeah, like I don't know if it's good or not. I feel like maybe not, but like.
Yeah.
But it also like if nobody really knows what it's trying to do and it's just. Picking you apart, maybe it does really well.
Yeah, I remember Andy played me with his dwarf one in cities that was Tempest Eye, and when you don't know what that does and you get hit with a double turn with that thing, it's brutal. Eric and I have both eaten that to the face on the channel.
Yeah. So I don't know exactly how this works, but I think it's cool.
I like it. Fire Slayers. I don't know anything about Fire Slayers.
Me neither. It's like a bunch of foot dudes, some Grimwrath Berserkers.
So like a bunch of slow guys that are super killy and hard to kill themselves.
Magmadroth, Flamekeeper.
At least you got a Magmadroth.
It's a whole bunch of heroes, and then
a bunch of
big unit. I think they made a mistake not only making the models look similar, but also the names are similar too. It's which one? You can't just say Berserkers. Like Volkite Berserkers, Hearthguard Berserkers.
Yeah.
Screw you, man. Yeah, I agree.
So I don't really know what to say about it. Seems like kind of a mixed list a little bit with like one Magmadroth.
Right.
And
I
then
mean,
it's a ton of heroes because it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 heroes in the leader slots, and then 2 Grimwrath Berserkers, which are kind of like heroes. So it's like 8 heroes.
and it's double Warlord.
Yeah, interesting. So it's a whole. It's like it must run up those heroes because there's like 8 of them.
Right. Well, and it says
So
Grimwrath Berserkers. It says it has artifacts. The Demon Slayer. Can they have artifacts on their?
yeah, they're like heroes, but they're not leaders. I think.
Weird. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Interesting.
Let us
It's
know.
not
If
your
we,
standard like Hearthguard Berserkers 30 or whatever they come in 15s now.
yeah,
It's not that, so that's cool. I'm happy. I'm happy about that.
I agree with that. Alex, let us know if we got anything wrong. If you're still here.
I'm sure we got it all wrong. We just
Yeah.
really know how it works.
Big Wah. Do we want to talk about that?
Yeah, I mean it's kind of your standard big wad. It's got a it's got a shaman. It's got a Makrusha. It's got Gobsprak for the battle tactic,
Right.
and just his unbind thing there that
Yeah,
he does.
he's so
2
good
War
now.
Chanters,
Like-
Prophet with laser eyes.
Wait, if you have
Hard
access,
Boys and Brutes.
if you have access to the Acolyte Battalion, Gobsprak becomes like really strong, because every time
Yeah.
he's unbinding, you're taking D6 mortal wounds if it's on a 10 up. So you just
Yeah.
kind of save your unbinds for him, and at 240 points for access to that, and he can do once per game. He can just do 3d6 unbind anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's pretty dope.
Yeah, the only thing about this list that I don't like is the splitting the Gore Grunters into 2 units. I would put those into 1 unit because it's only got the only hammer in this list is the cabbage right now.
Right.
And I think that having 6 pigs,
Especially
would
with the
be-
new
would be
coherency,
better.
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
So I
Maybe
would
he
like
just
to see those pigs together.
maybe he just modeled them as like the hero units, and he just didn't feel like he could not WYSIWYG it or something. I don't know.
Yeah. But no, I mean it's pretty good looking big wild list.
I like it. Yeah, I would probably have taken. I don't really like the Beast Skewer Killbow, like even at 80 points. I mean,
Yeah, I mean I would have dropped 5 hard boys in the Killbow and put in and made one of those pig units into a 6. That's what I would have done.
yeah, that's a great call. Right on. Cool.
Because he's got 10 points, right? With the 1990, yeah. So
I think
that would
so.
work. If you drop 5 hard boys in a kill bow, you can make one of those 3s into 6. That would make it better.
Another Maggotkin list.
Plague Bears. Here we got Blight Kings. Finally.
Yay! Vikings are
Another
good, man.
Glockin, Gut Rot. Yeah, this list seems to make a little bit more sense to me. Stuff
Right.
that I'm like familiar with. So Great Unclean one, Glotkin, and then Gut Rot bringing on those Blight Kings. And then 20 Plague Bears, 10 Plague Bears. There's a lot of meat in this list.
It is. The Plague Bears are hard to kill. It's a unit of 20.
And then Sloppity Wildpiper hanging out with the Great Unclean one and the Plague Bears, probably. Yeah,
Right.
cool.
Right. Yeah, that's a good call. I think it's pretty good. And then you probably are trying to summon some Nurglings. Right?
Yeah, and it's Warlords. So it's a bunch of drops.
And I guess you can use the Plague Bearers to countercharge with as well. It doesn't have to be Nurglings. It just feels like Nurglings are the best use of that.
Yeah, I could totally do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Witherstave, -1 to wound. I think that's what it is still.
I think you're
Used to be that.
right on.
Yeah, cool. And then I'm also taking the spell enhancement with the second, or with the Warlord, because it looks like people have 2 spells.
Right.
Cool. Yeah,
Very
looks
cool.
good.
Okay. Another Sons of Behemat. He's
It's kind of the same as the other one. It's a different makeup of giants, but 3 big ones and 3 small ones.
so only one Kraken Eater. He's got King Broad, who is a priest, which I kind of
Yeah.
like. A Gatebreaker
And then
is the Smash Eater guy.
Yeah, throws big rocks.
I actually like this list a lot.
Yeah.
Like as far as giants goes, 19-20 points. That's crazy.
Yeah.
But what do you even do when you're rocking giants, right? Like,
Yeah, exactly. You're going to be down if you're going to play,
yeah, right on.
something
Okay,
like this.
yeah. And then we've got Ossiarch Bone Reapers. Well, I feel like you can't not talk about Ossiarch Bone Reapers to some extent.
Yeah.
Null Myriad, so look out spellcasters.
Yeah, although it's only got 1 Mortison unit.
And
So,
it does have Catacross, and that's something that should be pointed out for a lot of people.
well, it's also got Mir Kanan, who is also
Not Null Myriad?
Mortis Praetorian, yeah,
Right.
not Null Myriad. So the only Null Myriad Mortison hero is the Bone Shaper
Right.
in this list.
For people who don't know, you cannot do the 2-up spell ignore for Catacross or Mir Kanan or whatever his name is, it sounds like. Because
Yeah.
Also, as soon as you kill that Mortison Bone Shaper, that goes away, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So that's kind of
There's
dangerous.
one 6 wound guy is the bubble for the anti magic, but then he's got 2 units of a Mortis guard, so he's got a bodyguard for that guy.
Right.
And
That's
then
two units of 3 Mortis Guard and 2 units of 3 Stalkers. It looks like.
Yeah.
So
it doesn't have
and
any
crawl.
Capitalist Death Riders, which is interesting because normally one thing that OBR struggles with is that they're really slow. And the Death Riders are kind of what go forward, maybe pin something, maybe take an objective or something like that. So I think this list is going to struggle with the objective game a little bit. It's going to be hitting.
Yeah.
It's going to be tanky.
I mean, and they do have access to the plus 3-inch movement, across the board, but you can only do that on one unit because it's a command ability. But you can do it. That's right, it's OBR, so it's unlimited. Yeah, so you can make them kind of fast, I think. But one thing to remember too is because you cannot do you can't do plus 3 movement and auto run 6. That's something that's like a common mistake,
right,
that people make. Okay, another Ossiarch Bone Reaper list. That was almost a.
And this is the one that's
Freudian
all
slip.
stalkers all the time.
Oh jeez, so super killy, right?
Yeah, and they can fly and
Arcane the
whatever.
Black. That's pretty dope.
Crematorians. That's neat.
Yeah, this is interesting. This is like a really aggressive OBR list, I think.
Yeah, and it's cool looking too, which I like. And the Bone Tithe Shrieker, which is one of the best endless spells in the game, is super good. Right on. I like it. I dig it.
Yeah, that'll probably do well. I mean, Death's killing it. So.
And now for one of the most underrepresented factions in the entire tournament, another Sylvaneth list.
Yeah, this is your Oakenbrow list. So this is like Battleline Tree Lords, and they don't
cool.
bracket, and Durthu that doesn't bracket, and then there's Gotrek in here, which is what makes this list actually kind of cool.
What? Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of Tree Lords and Durthu and Gotrek, and then a Warsong Revenant. So it's like a Warsong Revenant hanging out at the back, and then just like a couple of unkillable units. The only thing I would have liked to see in here is I would have liked to see the unkillable Tree Lord Ancient with the 3 Epithereal and then heals a wound every phase.
Right.
With Throne of Vines, where he's like completely unkillable. So then you have him that's unkillable and then Gotrek that's unkillable, and you just like shove him into your opponent. I think that sounds pretty fun.
It absolutely does.
So I sort of feel like that's a bit of a missed opportunity with this list, is that it doesn't have the unkillable Tree Lord to match the unkillable Dwarf, but
right on.
But it's a cool list. I like it. It's fun.
Is the is Oakenbrow the one? Is that what you said? It's the 6-up Field of Pain?
No, that's the other thing. The season or whatever. But
right,
no,
right.
Oakenbrow is just Tree Lords don't bracket.
Oh,
or they count as half, but then it effectively means they don't bracket until they're on their last wound.
Yeah.
Then they go to the first bracket.
Wow. Cool.
But yeah, and then they're battle line.
That's pretty dope.
But yeah, cool list.
And what's their glade?
Looks like it might not be written here.
Oh, you should write down. Someone
Yeah,
should
we should point that out.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And then we got Gloomspite Gets.
20 hoppers.
Jeez. 20 hoppers, so reinforced hoppers, reinforced Boingrots, reinforced Squig Herd, that's 3. Reinforced Stabbers, that's 4. That's all of them.
So it's 4 big units and then some heroes
and Dobby.
Sloggoth.
Yeah. Allied in Dobby, and then Fanatics are going to pop out of the MoonClan Stabbas. It's the only unit they can pop out of, so it's not very secret, but Yeah,
And again, no Blizzard. I feel like we're gonna go up there with all every single list we're bringing up there has Blizzard. I think,
right.
and none of the lists that they have there have Blizzard, and they all have big monsters. So this
Blizzard.
is gonna be gross.
The
I
Madcap has Blizzard on it.
Oh yeah.
oh, it
that's true.
does. That's true.
Still, again, a list I would like to see.
How
with Blizzard
dare you,
there.
Erik, insult this Gloomspite player?
Sorry.
It's Jaws for the extra attack on all the squigs. I actually like that. You know, I think it's dope. It's gonna be very killy.
Yeah, it's gonna hit hard.
Yeah, for sure. All those units are, pretty hitty.
Slappity slap slap. And then command trait, the clammy hand. Is that the -1 to hit on him? I can't remember. Or that's the clammy cowl, I think. Moonface Moppet. So for the -1 to hit, so that'll be pretty strong. No Gobapalooza. That's interesting. I think it's cool. I like it actually. I think it's kind of cool list.
Yeah, it's different than what I've seen Goblin lists normally like, so it's kind of cool.
Yeah, good for you, Quinn. Okay, another Oakenbrow Sylvaneth list.
This is more of the standard list. Three Tree Lords, Durthu, Lady of Vines for the 5-up ward save.
Right. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Glade Worm for some healing.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
Durthu for some slappity slap slap.
No delivery system in this though.
What? Yeah, Glade.
Like
Worm?
no hive.
Why no hive? It's only like an extra 10 points, and they have the points.
Yeah, I wonder if that's an error.
It might be. They're gonna be kicking themselves. Anyway. Okay. We've got
dogs going off there.
Okay. I thought someone was coughing.
No, it's the dogs started barking at the door.
Okay. Stormcast.
Bastion list. Sweet.
Ooh.
This is a fun list. Bastion, Gabriel, Knight Relictor, Double Incanter, Castellant, 4 Fulminators, 10 Vanquishers, 10 Vindictors, 5 Vigilers.
Whew. That's cool. Andorian Acolytes.
This kind of seems almost like a narrative list. This almost seems like characters out of like Black Library novels or something.
Yeah, totally.
Kind of what this reminds me of. This reminds me of like a narrative type list, which is cool.
Very cool. I really like it.
It's got Blizzard.
Heck
they're doing that right.
Yep. They know something. Scott McNames. We've got some legally bond purple cows. It's the name of their team. That's godlike.
That's awesome. Doom Bull, Shaman. So 2 6s of Bulgors in this one.
2 6s of Bulgors. Wow.
And the Cockatrice. Cockatrice.
I love the Cockatrice. Burning Head. Yeah. Looks pretty cool.
Yeah, kind of similar to that other one, except it splits the Bulgor into 2 6s instead of the big 9.
Yeah.
And doesn't have the Enlighten, so it's a little bit slower.
Right.
But it's kind of got 2 big hitty units.
Were those Enlightened on disc?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. That's pretty good.
Yeah, cool.
Nice. Blades of Corn. I'm starting to notice a trend of trees and
corn.
And corn, yeah.
Yeah, everybody's playing corn and death, seems like too.
Yeah, death.
This is an interesting list. I'm not really sure what it's trying to do because it's I can't remember what Baleful Lords does for the army subfaction, but it looks like he's running a lot of blood reavers and like a lot of chaff, kind of like Matthias does. He's got a skull cannon in there. He's got the Hexgorger skulls, which are really good. Scarbrand and another Bloodthirster. It's a little like it's very all around.
Yeah, like it's 3 Bloodthirsters basically, like 2 in Scarbrand.
Is there 2?
I think it's just
2
total.
Yeah, there is 2.
Yeah, 2 Bloodthirsters.
Wait, what?
Scarbrand.
Oh, Wrath of Corn Bloodthirster. Which one's the one that does the mortal wounds in a bubble?
I forget. I get them mixed up. I'm sure one of them is that one.
Right.
The Boom Thirster.
The Boom Thirster, yeah. I think that's the Wrath of Corn one. I think the Unfettered Fury is like the
whip guy.
Yeah, I think so. Correct us.
The Skull Cannon.
Baleful Lords is basically anytime a Bloodthirster is wholly within 8 inches of another Bloodthirster, they use the top row on their damage table,
Ooh.
regardless
Right.
of how many wounds they've suffered. So
That's the which one?
that's the
That's the
subfaction that
subfaction.
they picked.
Oh, that's why he's got 3 bloodthirsters. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
And
yeah.
then just some wounds and bloodletters. Yeah, I mean, cool. Seems like this almost seems like an old school corn list.
Totally. And there's a skull cannon, which is kind of dope. Yeah. Right on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay.
I actually do like having little shooting units like that for helping you with kill tactics. Like when you say you're doing reprisal and you have to kill a unit, and like just putting an extra wound or 2 from shooting in just makes it so much less stressful when you're like trying to fight it in combat. So I do like those little cheap shooting units like that.
I agree, actually. Yeah. Especially if they're, reasonable for their points, obviously.
Yeah.
We've got another Sons of Bahamut list. This is
Yeah.
crazy.
Lots of giants.
Like, I haven't seen Sons in so long, and now I feel like we're drowning in them almost. Should we skip this one? Like,
I mean, it's 4 megas. It's a Kraken Eater, 2 Gatebreakers, and a War Stomper.
okay. Dope.
So it can kick objectives. It's got 2 guys that are big and stompy and throw rocks.
Hell yeah. I want to. I do love the mega giants. They're cool.
Yeah. And this next list is my favorite list in the whole thing.
Slaves to Darkness, Knights of the Empty Throne.
Yeah.
Okay. What do we got?
It's just 2 Manticores and then a whole bunch of Khorne Knights. And that's it. It's awesome.
And
Like,
2 units of Vanguard.
Manticore.
Whoa.
Chaos Lord on Manticore, Khorne. 5 Chaos Knights, Khorne. 5 Chaos Knights, Khorne. 5 Chaos Knights, Khorne. 5 Chaos Knights, Khorne. 3 Vanguard, Khorne. 3 Vanguard, Khorne. Doom Sigil.
Whew.
This list rules. Double Battle Regiment. It's 2 drops. The entire thing runs in charges. It all gets +1 attack on the charge. I love it.
And Knights of the Empty Throne is the knight one, right? It's the one where they're all better.
It's what lets everybody gets to run in charge.
Oh, that's what that is. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, so the whole army runs in charges. So you don't need to cast demonic speed. Everybody runs in charges all the time, and they're all Khorne.
That does look like a lot
knights.
of fun.
It's awesome. So you just throw knights in waves at people, and they like hit really hard, and then they're super annoying to clear, and then the next turn they throw another one into you.
How much is a lord? How much is a lord on Karkadrak?
220, I think.
So
200. Yeah, he went down. Yeah.
So he could have fit that in there instead, I guess, hey? Instead of
but he's not on a Manticore.
Nice.
You're missing the point. The point is this is 2 Manticores and knights, and that's it. That's what's awesome about it. That's what's so cool.
That's fair. I really like the Karkadrak model, so maybe I'm just being a little biased, but
well, I'm not saying the Manticore model is good or anything. I'm just saying that 2 Manticores and like 6 or 8 units of knights is an awesome list.
Yeah, I don't think anyone wants to stand on that soapbox, right?
Yeah.
Manticores were.
So I really hope this list does well, and I hope it's like really well painted and stuff, because this is my favorite list in the whole thing. I just think this list rules.
That's freaking awesome, man. Yeah.
Props to this guy for building and painting that many Chaos Knights, because my god.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Totally.
To build and
It is a
paint.
nightmare. Oh my god, I know. I did 5, and then I was just like, nope, I'm using my old knights. Forget it. That's it.
Exactly the same as what I did. I have 10. I've built and painted 5, and I'm like, never again. I'm
Wow.
doing quick logging from now on.
Dude,
Wow.
I know. They are horrendous. But they're also really, really cool when they're done. And yeah.
Yeah, undoubtedly they look amazing. I will give them that, but like,
Yeah.
they could not have done a worse job at like preventing you from doing sub-assemblies and
I
making
know.
it super difficult to paint. And even just building
the
like
capes and stuff. Yeah.
yeah, you get seams everywhere. It's
You know what's really good at sub-assemblies? Agrodon. They're amazing.
Yeah, they learned from the Slaves to Darkness stuff when they made the Seraphon, because it's much better.
All the riders come off. They all like will fit on without even glue. They just grip onto the model. All the
With a little
shields
peg.
are separate, and they have like a nice big flat thing where you could just put some blue tack or something on there if you wanted to. I don't even bother. Yeah.
Yeah, no, they're good.
sounds nice.
Did I rub it in too hard?
Yeah, you're like how great for you.
Yeah.
Happy for you, Rob.
I could rub it in harder. Like I actually have the capability. and the technology.
Speaking of rubbing it in harder.
Yeah. Hey.
Yeah. Man after my own heart. Yeah, Slanesh is next. Yeah, Be'lakor in this one, which is interesting.
Be'lakor, Contorted Epitome, which is always good. I don't remember what Pretenders do. Slanesh's like subfactions still feel complicated to me, even after having James explain them to me.
I mean, it basically means that everything is on that epitome. But because he has a 2-up ward against mortals, and you can't shoot him outside of 12 now.
Whoa.
It's still pretty good. Like, I was thinking Pretenders was going to become terrible, but then I think the changes to Lookout Sir make it okay.
You can't see him outside of 12, or you can't...
Well, it's the new Lookout Sir rule, so you can't target him outside of 12.
Oh, that's why. I thought it was something like... I thought it was like the fungoid. So you could spell him. Oh, I'm getting an
yeah, but he has a 2-up ward save. So you can't really spell him. Which is what makes him good.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, totally. That's a good call. So yeah, there's not much you can do against him, is there?
No, he's just a great hero. Like, the Contorted Epitome is one of the best pound for pound heroes in the game, I think.
Kill the stuff around him, I guess, first, and then...
Yeah, I mean, you just can't send him out. That's just kind of the way it is. You know, you just kind of got to deal with it. But then it's only got 2 units of 10 archers, 10 demonettes, and then fiends, which is interesting.
Wow.
Big unit of fiends, too. So they're -1 to hit, -1 to wound, -1 to cast, I think, if you're within range. And then 5 slicks and 3 slangor, which are not very good in my estimation.
Can't they make you fight last? Did I make
I don't think so.
I thought if they charged, they could do something like that. I could be wrong.
I don't know. I don't remember that.
They do have the Acolytes battalion, so that's something of note.
Yeah, and they've got Spell Portal, which I imagine is to put Phantasmagoria through, which lets you retreat after you attack.
Okay.
So, and it's only 12-inch range, so I'm assuming that's what goes through the portal. And then I think the mirror can float through the portal as well.
Right on.
So I think that's how that works. And then the mirror is for farming depravity and doing mortal wounds. And yeah, I think it probably wants to throw those slicks into you, top of 1, start farming depravity, and then it's got Be'lakor to stop your counterattack, I guess.
Okay. And I got that wrong. If they can fight, the Slangor can fight twice, but then the second time they fight at the end of the combat phase. That's what I was thinking of.
Right. Which there's no chance of them being alive for.
Yeah, they've got like a 5-up save or something.
Yeah.
That's fair. It's still kind of a cool list, though. It's, I'm noticing...
That's cool models. I bet you it's well painted. I bet you it looks really cool.
Yeah, the models are really cool.
And demonettes can be good once you start pumping them up. Like, once they start getting to the 6s do mortals, right. They get a bunch of attacks, and they have 25 mil base. You can get them all in. Demonettes are all right.
Right on. They're pretty fast, so...
Yeah, they can run and charge.
Okay.
Interesting list.
Very interesting. I like it. And then we've got Thomas Bucky running Null Myriad, Ossiarch Bone Reapers.
Yeah. Ark in the Black, what a jerk. Catacross, even worse.
Right. Same
Mortis
deal.
and Bone Shaper, pretty good unit. And then, he's got just a ton of guards. So 6 Immortus Guard and 3 Immortus Guards. Wow. Those heroes aren't going anywhere.
Fair. So,
and then he's got the 2 fibers of Cabalist Death Riders to kind of go out and pin you, or go out and score an objective, or, play the game while the rest of his stuff.
This is pretty much like the Ossiarch list right now, I think.
Yeah.
Like, this is typically what you see at top tables. I've seen this list like 3 or 4 times now between Tacoma and Emerald City. Like, it's tough.
Right. And how does it work with, like, if you put like an endless spell and do mortal wounds into, say, Catacross in Null Myriad, and he's got the Immortalis Guard nearby, the spell cannot be shut off on a 2-up, But he can still deflect the mortal wounds into them, obviously. Like, because why wouldn't he be able to do that, right?
He has to, actually.
Oh, okay, got it. I got it.
And so that's kind of one weakness that Erik brought up. I think at Tacoma was that like Catacross is like the entry point to a Null Myriad army for most like spellcasting armies.
Yeah.
Because A, you're keeping Catacross close to your Immortus Guard most of the time because you don't want him to die.
Yeah.
And B, he has to pass them off, so that's kind of the way that you do that. But I think he can split it between like whichever unit he wants to. So
yeah, each individual one can go to a different unit. It's not a great in; it's just the only in.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is why this list is doing so well and so tough. I think having Ark in the Black is really important because he's fast. He's one of the only fast things in the army. So him and the KDR give it some mobility, and then has the really strong center with Catacross and the 6/3 Immortus.
Right.
So
and
another thing is that Arkan is +2 to cast and unbind as well.
That's what I was gonna say.
Which is huge for like if you're. That's basically your Blizzard defense against Catacross.
And he knows the whole spell lore, I think, as well. I think he's a lore master.
I think so.
So yeah.
So I think Arkan makes taking Catacross not so much of a liability because of like you were saying, and the fact that he can project the bubble around so that like Catacross doesn't have to be a part of that. You know, you don't have to have you don't have to have the foot guys doing that. You have a guy that's mobile that can do it. So then, and the other thing is that if you're playing like a super heavy magic list, he can actually go out and protect the Death Riders. And still be mobile and still stay in the bubble.
And he gets the Null Myriad thing. I'm assuming he is Null Myriad, right?
Yeah, he gets it like specifically.
Right.
Actually, it says like or Ark in the Black.
Wow.
In the rule.
Oh, really? So you can take Arkin in another faction. He gets the Null Myriad rule.
No, in the Null Myriad rule, it says Mortison or Ark in the Black.
Oh, I see. Crazy. Got it. Wild. Okay. Neat.
But yeah, it's just a good list. I mean, it's
very strong.
It's really hard to kill in combat, and then everything comes back like in extreme amounts. So anything you kill, you probably finish the game, and it's all alive. Right? Like if you lose to this list, you probably don't kill any. You probably don't kill any of it.
Yeah.
Maybe you kill 5. Maybe you kill 5 KDR.
Maybe
you kill 10 if you have a big combat army, but like you probably don't kill any of the heroes, and you probably don't kill any of the Immortus Guard because of the recursion. In my opinion,
I agree. I only killed one hero, and I didn't kill any of the Death Riders. But it was a different hero too, so it was like.
Because if you're killing more than that, you probably win.
Right.
But I think if you lose, you probably lose to this whole army. In my opinion.
I faced this list 2 times in like one at each major DT so far, and the only reason I beat it in the most recent one is because I managed to gum it up enough to just win on primary objectives for the first like 3 turns. So basically forcing him to score only 3, so 1 objective or maybe even 0 objectives in a battle tactic. And I ended up winning by 1 point at the end. Wow. And I was tabled in turn 4.
Wow.
So it's very tough. It's kind of crazy that they can just bring back 5 wound models, to be honest.
Yeah, that's
and bring back like what, they get 6 rolls at it.
Yeah,
or between the 2 units, it's 6 rolls, right?
Is it?
Well, because there's 2 units, so you get 3 on each of them.
I thought it was re-rolling is 6. I thought you could only bring back 3. Maybe I'm wrong. I might be wrong.
I mean, you can do that ability 6 times, right? Because you can do it to 3 units from Catacross and 3 units from Arkan and 2 units from the Bone Shaper, right? To bring back guys.
Yes, but you can't pick the same unit multiple times. With Catacross is 3 units, so it's 3 different units. So then in that sense, I think it's. Go ahead.
You can bring back 3 to each of those units because you can bring 1 back from Catacross, 1 from Arkan, and 1 from the Soul thing. So that's 3 in 1 of the units of the Immortus Guard, and then you can bring back 3 to the other unit as well.
Yeah, exactly.
So you can bring back 6 total Immortus Guard in your turn.
Yeah.
Which is 440 points.
Yep.
Every turn.
Very silly. It's very silly.
Like
honestly,
every
like
turn, you can bring back 440 points. That's
Just
like an extra 1,700 points.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy.
Just get rid of their Death Riders as best you can. Try to outplay them on objectives, and if they end up separating Ark in the Blackout to try and like capture an objective from you or something like that, that's your in, right? Then he doesn't have a bodyguard of a Mortis guard, and then that kind of like hurts a lot. But I've never seen an OBR player do that, so they're probably just going to stay in their castle and murder you.
Yeah, and then just stand there on the objectives and score. And then the other thing is those guys are five wounds each, so they even count as 2.
Yeah. I guess one other big thing to note too is that Catacross can't use his like big bubble of +1 to save and +1 to hit, I think, if he's in combat. So if you can tie up Catacross, like that's a good way to mess with them for sure.
So but a question about that. The +1 to hit and wound, that he can't apply that in the hero phase if he's in combat in the hero phase. So you have to send something in that won't die to Catacross, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And there's stuff like that. Like I've got like Agrodon that would probably survive a round with him, you know.
Yeah, but the issue is he's like inside the castle usually.
Yeah. That's true. There's that as well. That's a good point. Yeah.
And then now that you can string the 6 Mortis guard out in a line too, it's even worse.
Oh God, I didn't think about that.
Yeah, usually you see like Death Riders, and Mortis guard, Catacross, and just like a big bubble.
Wow. Yeah, so maybe this and that other corn list are the 2 lists to beat. That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah, I think there's a couple corn lists. There's this list. There's the 2 croak lists, my list and the other list. But because of No Myriad, I think we're both gate kept by OBR and Corn, because Corn gets so much blood tithe off of us. So, because I think those 2 croak lists are good too.
So you're
Dale with his daughters.
Right.
Do well.
Yeah, that's true. Yep. Carson was a coward, so he's not going, right?
There's a couple of these lists that like I don't really know what they do. Also, like that cities list could somehow be good.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do have gaps in our respective knowledge here, you know.
Yeah, but I think Corn and OBR are the list to beat here.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, too, like obviously the player piloting it is going to be the major deciding factor. You know, everyone can make mistakes, and someone who's piloting a mediocre army that is extremely good at the game can do very well with it. And you can be surprised. You never know.
That's something I love about AOS and 40K is like you consistently see that people like are really strong players can take armies that are weak and, you know, average an 80% win rate. It's amazing.
Yeah. And sometimes you get those tournaments too where like top players all play each other in the first couple rounds and then they all get knocked out.
Yeah, exactly.
What happened at Emerald City to me. Thank you, Matthias, for knocking out Matt Beasley and Stark in the first 2 rounds. You're the real hero. I'm sorry I had to do that to you in round 4, but
you're not sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, he was blocking for you and then you just bury him at your first opportunity. That was real nice of you.
Yeah, we didn't talk about that.
And then proceed to lose the last game so that he's denied best general as well.
Yeah.
just the worst thing I possibly could have done to him. Because if I lost to him, I feel like he probably could have beaten that guy. And then,
I was going to put him...
I still would have got best overall, and he would have got best... Yeah, I'm a jerk.
Amazing. I love it.
I was going to put a more positive spin on it and just be like, yeah, Carson won best overall at this tournament down in the States.
But turns out you're a terrible friend.
I mean...
I am.
People, longtime viewers of the show will already know that, but...
Yeah, I was talking about Rob, but also you.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I hide it behind a veneer of nonsense. Yeah, of Skaven. Mostly Skaven.
Yeah.
Oh man, but it was cool. Congrats to Carson. That was awesome. Matthias also went 4-1, which is dope.
Yep. And
he played some of the best players in North America.
It's true.
Yeah. It helped out Carson. Yeah. We're kind of like talking about it like there are no friends in war.
Yeah, exactly.
That's true. Yeah.
But no, this tournament's gonna be fun. I mean, there was like an explosion across the street this morning, and sounds like the venue's probably okay. and there's like wildfires that we have to dodge to get up there. But
What? There's an explosion across the street?
yeah, there's a big thing. It's all over the news. There's like a restaurant exploded this morning, like across the street from the venue. It's crazy.
What the hell?
Happens all the time in Prince George.
Yeah.
Things explode.
Yeah.
You know.
The only
But,
the only reason it made news was because it was across from the venue. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, exactly. They're like local Warhammer tournament put in jeopardy by explosion. That was the headline.
Put in jeopardy by regular explosion.
Yeah.
My normal everyday restaurant.
Yeah, no, yeah. It was weekly explosion puts Warhammer tournament in jeopardy. That's what it was.
Oh man. Very good.
Well, yeah, but we're gonna drive through wildfires, and we're gonna get there, and we're gonna take their trophies and bring them home where they belong.
I hope so. I hope they're as cool as last time, and hope everyone has a good time. Dodges, whatever other weekly explosions are going to be occurring at the time, and it's really awesome. One of the reasons for doing this too, like we don't talk about every tournament, right? But I do like to highlight the ones that are local and are worth going to, like the ones that like do a really great job and kind of almost deserve more players, but for their location, like they would have more players, frankly.
Yeah, I mean it's a great tournament. I mean it's Prince George isn't exactly like on the way to anywhere, so it's kind of
Well, it's in a manner.
You got to make a point of going there, but it's
well, it's kind of on the way to everywhere else in BC, but it's
sure.
But that's assuming that you're not going for a Warhammer tournament. It's not like you're going to. Oh, I'm going to the Warhammer tournament in Fort St. John, so I'm going to go to the one in Prince George as well. It's kind of a different thing, but yeah,
But it's worth going to. They do a great job. We had a real fun time last year. It seems like this year is going to be even better. It's great. I've already put in my lunch orders for both days, and they're going to be delivered to me. It's great.
That's amazing. Yeah, it's another thing that they do. You can pre-order your meal or whatever, and
there's a pub downstairs, and they're like, we put our orders in already, so the food will just arrive. So it's exciting.
Take some pictures of the venue if you don't mind, and then maybe we can show it on the channel next week.
Yeah, well, apparently they have a photographer coming, so there's going to be professional photographs of the event and of all people's minis and stuff. So I think it's going to be a great time.
Maybe you could give Yeah. Oh, honestly, I think Erik and Alex were saying it was their favorite tournament of the year or something.
We had a really good time last year. We had a blast.
Maybe you could put me in touch with the TO, and I could, like promote it better next time or something like that. I don't know. I don't know the guy. I don't even know his name. So yeah. Yeah,
it's Josh running it. He came down for Cake or Death. I guess you weren't there, but
I was not, unfortunately.
But he had a really cool like samurai Iron Jaws army, which was really cool.
Whoa, that's awesome.
One best painted, I believe, or favorite army, whatever it was.
Really?
I think.
Oh shoot. I actually wanted to do that I wanted to do an Eshin themed, like the Jingasa, like the straw hat, like the samurai wear.
Sure. Yeah.
I wanted to I saw like a fantasy army with nuts on their head, and it looked kind of like that that Jeff had. And then so I was like, oh man, Eshin themed, like across the board, they all get that. Like I wanted to 3D print them all. I still might do it, actually.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, I'm still kind of excited for it. Anyway, is there anything you want to promote while you're on, Erik?
No, not really. I mean, I think that was...
Your dog has an amazing Instagram.
He does.
What's the name? What's the name of it?
I actually don't even.
I put it up last time. I've forgotten this time. No one ever has anything to promote ever, so I just don't have anything to put on the screen anymore.
Yeah, I got nothing.
Whatever. Right.
What do I want to promote? I want to promote the Lord Croak. And his gospel.
Yep. The Great Math.
Yeah, you should all join the Great Plan.
That's true.
And stop playing Korn, and stop playing No Myriad. All of you.
Yeah.
Whoever you watching right now, stop playing Korn.
Yeah,
stop it.
We see you in the back
Start
there.
playing ogres.
Yes, play ogres and play iron jaws and play armies that are fun and not stupid like Khorne and OBR.
Yeah, Coalesced is where it's at, man.
Yeah, 38% win rate.
Yep.
Be a part of the solution. Do the right thing.
Don't listen to the man behind the curtain.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway.
Yeah, so that's what I want to promote.
Cool.
Is good Warhammer habits.
All worthy goals. Yeah. Well, thanks again for coming on, Erik.
Thanks for having me.
Pleasure as always.
It's good to go through those lists. It's weird. I'm like, they're all like not usual lists, so I'm like kind of afraid of all of them because I'm like, oh man, like giants are a lot of wounds. Jeez.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's really fun. I'm glad we went through them.
Yeah, giants. A lot of giants there, which was unusual. A lot of different stuff. It seems like it's either different stuff or really strong meta stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And then a bunch of Sylvaneth and giants.
Sylvaneth, yeah, that's right. Sylvaneth, yeah. Giants just feel different in general, but
yeah, I haven't seen giants in a long time.
Yeah,
I played giants a bunch last year, but I don't think I played giants once this year.
Yeah, they've been kind of dead since the last 2 GHBs, I want to say.
Yeah, since the monster one.
Yes, Ludivicus said it well. I appreciate that, Ludivicus, about me and Carson, and he said thanks to Erik for the knowledge, for sure. Yeah, absolutely. It's much appreciated. We'll be back next week, but thanks again for the guests. Thanks for all the viewers hanging out and, watching us talk about this really fun tournament and some interesting lists. But we'll see.
Maybe we can talk about it when I get back.
Yeah,
I'll show you all. We'll show off all the trophies that we brought back.
I hope so. I hope they're horns again. That would be so awesome. Right on.
I guess we'll see.
Yeah. Hopefully they're whatever they're called, bull horns and not human horns. But
yeah, that would be preferable.
Awesome. Well, we'll see you guys next time.
All right.